Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. What is going on, guys and gals, and guys and gals? That is not what I'm supposed to hear. It's usual ladies and fellas. But I guess we can do that when I do my deck breakdown then. But regardless, that is not important. What is important that today we are doing Saga of the BlueEyes White Dragon versus the Cyber Dragon Revolution structure decks. I don't think it's been that long since we last had our structure deck episode. It was the Fire Kings and something else, which was, I want to say like under 2 months ago, maybe like about 2 months. I think it was like when my school started, so yeah, I think it was like about 2 months or something. Regardless though, BlueEyes and Cyber Dragon, obviously two like very fan favorite archetypes, and let's just say that they are not really built equal, but we'll discuss that a little bit later on. But first, let's take a look at what they have in them. So starting with the Saga of the BlueEyes White Dragon, bunch of vanillas, obviously, like most importantly, BlueEyes also has a 2k beat stick normal summon up in Alexandrite Dragon, which is there if you want it. Flower Guard, a level 1 tuner, 2000 defense, but the level 1 tuner, Dragon Tuner, is the important thing, which we'll discuss a little bit later. And then some new cards, like one of the better ones is definitely Maiden with Eyes of Blue, a level 1 tuner as well, but a spellcaster this time. 0 attack and defense, but a very good couple of effects. When a card effect is activated, targets this card. As a quick effect, you can spell summon a BlueEyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or grave. And when this card is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do, change the battle position of this card and spell summon a BlueEyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use one effect per turn and only once that turn. And I don't know why I completely read that. I think like way back, like I had gotten out of the like, hey, let's explain and talk about the cards here, when we, especially like good cards like this, which we will definitely talk about in the deck building section. So I'm not gonna continue doing that. My apologies. I get completely lost in thought there. Other stuff that we have here right after Stormwind is weird, but it exists. Then you have just really bad stuff like Darkstorm Dragon. It's barely playable. You have even stuff like Red Dragon of Tefnuit, which almost works as a Cyber Dragon for this deck. White Son of Legend is there, actually another level 1 Dragon Tuner, which is obviously important, as we'll discuss a little bit later. Kaibaman is there. I'm probably not gonna play it. Honest, all of our stuff is light, so Honest obviously very good. Shining Angel there as well to thin out our deck. And then Spell Drop lineup actually pretty decent. So Dragon Shrine, obviously you can pitch a Dragon monster from your deck to a grave, and then if it's a Dragon normal monster, you can pitch another one, which obviously is very good because with stuff like Flammable Guard and BlueEyes itself, obviously those being normal monsters, you can pitch 2 things for the price of 1 card. So in those cases, obviously just a better Foolish Burial. A Silver Scribe, another new card here, a quick play spell where you target a Dragon normal monster in your grave to spell summon it, and you can only use once per turn. So basically just works as a monster reborn for, why did I Monster Reborn, shut up, nobody say anything, Reborn for BlueEyes, since they are obviously normal monsters. Snappy Destruction, a way to remove spell traps. Obviously, you need a Dragon monster in the field, though, and it's not a quick play spell, but it's okay. Trade-in, being able to pitch BlueEyes to draw 2, obviously very good. Cards of Consonance, just got a Dragon Tuner with 1000 or less attack to draw 2. Obviously works with stuff like Flaming Guard as well as the White Stone of Legends, so very good in that regard. 1 for 1, send a monster from your hand to a graveyard to spell some level 1 monster from your hand or deck. This gets us access to our tuners, which is very good. Oh yeah, I'm piloting this deck. Jeexx is playing the Cyber Dragon deck. And then the aforementioned Silver Sky being a different Monster Reborn. We also have just Monster Reborn here as well. And then we have other stuff here as well that's not, I don't think, as relevant. We don't really want... If we're going to a situation where we need to be tribute summoning our BlueEyes, we're not doing great. Sort of Revealing Light is actually decent because the Sidra deck probably will win with stuff like Power Bonded, Limit Broken, Twin Sidra, or even Nova can make stuff hit pretty hard, so Source isn't completely useless, but it's not the craziest thing. Econ also for the same thing, like being able to put to defense a Twin Dragon on the turn it's power round summoned. It's pretty neat. Then we have the trap lineup, which is not crazy good for the most part. We do have good stuff here as well, like good removal, like Compulsory. Finish Chain, obviously very good. Finish Chain can also be used with stuff like Maiden, which is interesting. Call of the Haunted is there if we want even more Graveyard Recursion. Kunai Chain there once again if we need some more ways to interact with the battle phase. But as we'll discuss shortly with the other structure deck being Sidra. Sorry, this is turning out to be a very long set breakdown. I apologize. We have Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, which is the most important card in our deck. It's very good already, but especially in this matchup, this is what we need. So it's a level 9 tuner. So once again, like obviously just one of our level 1 tuners with BlueEyes. And if it's special summoned, until the end of your next turn, neither player can target dragon monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by card effects. And then once per turn during your standby phase, you can target a normal monster in graveyard to special summon it. Obviously, most of the time it'll just get us back our BlueEyes. But if we have stuff like Silver Scry or something along those lines, like getting back stuff with like Flammable Guard with this, obviously gets us more Azure Eyes Silver Dragons, which is pretty neat. But overall, a solid for the time structure deck, but there are a couple cards in the Sidra structure, as you'll see shortly, that just completely put the matchup in its favor. And they're in the trap section, so we'll be there at the end. But remember the protection from Azure Eyes. Starting us off with, though, we have Cyber Dragon Core. Obviously, still to this, they're like one of the better Cyber Dragons that exist. Dry is also there if you get something like you go second, you open Sidra, you get Dry. You can immediately use them to go into stuff like Nova. It's pretty decent. I'm not going to explain too many of these effects in detail though, because this is already turning to be like one of the longest separate games in a while. And obviously that's sort of to be expected with structure deck episodes, but also just I'm done. Cyber Valley is there to give you some battle protection and draw some cards. Cyber Phoenix there to draw some cards as well, like a lot of like card draw and stuff like that. Satellite Cannon there if you want to be very gimmicky and go full on the delay plan. You have stuff like weird stuff like Refill Bound, Shining Edge also here. The light is there to substitute one of your Cyber Dragons for Cyber Twin if you want. A Cyber Repair Plant, obviously very good. If you have a Cyber Dragon in your grave, you can activate one of these effects. If you have 3 or more Sidras in your grave, you can do both. We either add a Light Machine monster from your deck to your hand or target a Light Machine monster in your grave to shuffle it back to the deck. The first one is obviously what you want to be doing. Also has access to stuff like Super Poly, but not really relevant here because the as we'll discuss shortly, the only fusion that you have access to here is what's his face? Oh, I'm done. A Cyber Twin Dragon. And so the only relevant, I feel like, fusion spell in this deck is Power Bond, where it just doubles the original attack of the monster you summon, and then you at the end phase you take damage equal to the amount of attack gained, but getting a 5600 beefsteak that can attack twice for the price of 2800 life points I feel like is pretty good. Limit removal is also there if you might want to just immediately kill your opponent through anything with Cyber Twin Dragon. Megamorph there if you want even more power boosting. DDR if you banish stuff to get it back. The Sidra deck also has access to just MST, so obviously just good generic battle spell trap, sorry, removal. And we have 3 of a kind because it's a Cider deck, but I don't know how relevant that is. What's relevant to is stuff like Trapstan also has access to Call of the 100 here, or Boku here to protect you from shenanigans in the battle phase. And then what I was alluding to with Azure Eyes, Dimensional Prison. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you target the attacking monster and banish it. Obviously, when the whole thing that we want to be doing for most of our deck is dumping it into the grave and getting it back from there, immediately when we get 1 or 2 Blue Eyes banished, we are no longer playing the game at all. So this is the card that I'm terrified of, and it is why stuff like Azure getting, like, basically the only way we can win is if we somehow just consistently, we need to be every turn getting an Azure Eyes on our field to get protection from Deep Prison, because otherwise we just lose. And then to top it all off, the side deck actually has access to 2 different extra deck monsters. We have Cybertron Dragon, we already know what that does, and then Nova, which is a rank 5 Xyz. Once per turn you can detach a material from this card to spell back a Cyber Dragon from your grave. And then once per turn as a quick effect, you can also banish a Cyber Dragon from your hand or face on your monster zone to give a Nova a 2100 attack until the end of the turn. And then if Nova is sent to a graveyard by your opponent's card effect specifically, you can spell summon a machine fusion monster from your extra deck. But it needs to specifically be sent by a card effect and not battle. Still pretty good. And I'm just, what I think, like, I think Nova is pretty cool, and this is cool because I, like, pretty shortly after when we get Cyber Dragon Infinity, you no longer ever see Nova do anything but just directly go into Infinity. So, yeah. But this ended up being an 11-minute set breakdown. I apologize. Somehow I always find a way to make these a structure deck breakdowns so long. I guess it's because, like, especially in this case, like, I actually really like both of these archetypes myself, so there's just a lot for me that I wanted to talk about, but I apologize for that, and hopefully you don't mind. And with all that being said, though, I will see y'all in the deck building sections next.
Alrighty then, so we're doing structure decks this time. We're doing Cyber Dragon Revolution and the Saga of Blue-Eyes White Dragon, I think the other one is called. I overall think that these 2 decks are not that fun to play, especially against each other, because they both boil down to either wanting to win on turn 2, immediately on turn 2, or they just simply, like, win out because of the fact that they now have bigger walls that can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. And I'm just sitting there and I'm wondering, or targeted by card effects, and I'm wondering how the fuck I'm supposed to use anything to actually deal with anything on my opponent's side of the board. But we'll see how it actually ends up going. I have to say that I'm not too excited about playing Cyber Dragons, even though I would have rather not played Blue Eyes. I'd rather play Cyber Dragons than Blue Eyes, but I still don't like either of these decks. And I would have rather just have played any other structure deck against this or against Blue Eyes. But yeah, we have Cyber Dragon. I don't think I need to explain what the Cyber Dragon is or what it does, but we have Cyber Dragon Core right after it. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or in the graveyard. If this card is normal summon, add 1 Cyber Spell Trap card from your deck to your hand. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard and then special summon 1 Cyber Dragon monster from your deck. You can only use one Cyber Dragon core effect per turn, and only once that turn. Cyber Dragon Dry. Or I think it's Dry? I don't know. I don't speak German. I don't speak no fantasy languages. Anyhow, this card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or in the graveyard. When this card is normal summoned, you can make all Cyber Dragon monsters you control become at level 5. That is specifically so that Cyber Dragon, like Dry, can himself become a level 5 and become a material for Cyber Dragon Nova. And also, if you have Cyber Dragon Core on the field and you normal summon Dry, you can make those 2 into a Cyber Dragon Nova. You cannot special summon monsters that turn the turn you activate this effect, except machine monsters. If this card is banished, you can target 1 Cyber Dragon you control, and it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect this turn. Cyber Dragon's Y. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while in the graveyard. Once per turn, you can reveal a spell trap card in your hand, and this card's name becomes Cyber Dragon until the end phase. If this card attacks an opponent's monster, it gains 300 attack until the damage during the damage step only. Cyber Phoenix, which is not really a Cyber Dragon card or related to the Light Machine archetype, but still, or like it's called a Cyber card, but it has like no relation to it whatsoever. Well, this card is in attack position. Negate any spell trap cards that target one machine monster you control, and no other cards. That is actually kind of scary. Like, for example, if I was playing against another Cyber Dragon player, they could not be using Evolution Burst on my things or Dimensional Prison on my things, which is relevant. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card. Again, that's also fairly good. Like, you normal summon this in attack, your opponent can't remove it by stuff, they have to actually swing over it, and then if you have something to protect it and so on, it's going to stay there for a while, and even if it does die, it replaces itself, which makes this a fairly solid card to play in the deck. Then we have Cyber Valley, same reasoning as like Cyber Phoenix. You can banish this card, draw one card, and end the battle phase, and the other effect is you can target one face of monster you control, and this card, banish those targets, and draw two cards. So you can use this card to maybe go ham a little. But yeah. Then we have Jade Knight. Well, this card is in attack position. Machine monsters you control 1,200 or less attack cannot be destroyed by trap effects. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can add one level 4 light machine monster from your deck to your hand. So Drai or Zwei or Jade Knight. It's not too bad. It's fairly handy actually. Then we have Solar Windjammer, which can special summon itself if you control no monsters and have its original attack and defense. During each of my standby phases, it would increase its own level by 1. There can only be one of these on the field at the same time. Or on your side of the field at the same time. No, there can only be one Solar Windjammer on the field. Oh, I didn't even realize this thing actually blocks the other guy from also playing it. That's kind of cool. Cyber Repair Plant, if Cyber Dragon is in your graveyard, you can activate one of these effects. If you have 3 or more Cyber Dragons in your graveyard, at this card's activation, you can activate both effects and resolve in sequence. You can only activate one Cyber Repair Plant per turn. Add one Light Machine monster from your deck to your hand, and target one Light Machine monster in your graveyard and shuffle that target into your deck. Limited Removal, double the attack of all machine monsters you control and destroy them in the end phase. MST, Power Bond, Fusion Summon Machine Fusion Monster, double its attack, it's pretty strong. Call the Haunted, target one monster in graveyard, special summon it. Cyber Network. Destroy this card during your third standby phase after activation. Once per turn, if a Cyber Dragon is on the field, you can banish one Light Machine monster from your deck. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, special summon as many of your banished Light Machine monsters as possible. And if you do, destroy all spells and traps you control. Monsters that were special summoned by this effect cannot activate their effects. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect. Deep Prison, 3 of them. Trap Stun, 2 of them. Another Zwei. Evolution Burst, if you control a Cyber Dragon, target one card your opponent controls, so destroy that target. A Cyber Dragon cannot attack the turn you activate this card. This is really weirdly worded. I'm assuming this implies that any Cyber Dragon cannot attack the turn you activate this card, which is really strange. Machina Armored Unit. Once per turn, when a machine monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can spell summon one machine monster from your deck that has the same attribute and less attack than the destroyed monster in the graveyard. So, Cyber Dragon dies, summon Zwei dies, summon Zwei, and Zwei dies, summon Core. And then if Core dies, summon Valley. Can kind of work. Like, it's once per turn though, so you know, there's that. Super Poly, for no reason other than I can have 3 copies of Super Poly. Yep. 3 copies of Woboku, 3 copies of Twin Dragon, and Cyber Dragon Nova. 2 level 5 machine monsters. Once per turn, you can attach 1 material from this card. Then target 1 Cyber Dragon in your graveyard. Special summon that target. Once per turn, quick effect. You can banish 1 Cyber Dragon from your hand or face up from your monster zone. And this card gains 2,100 attack until the end of this turn. If this card in your possession is sent to your graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 machine monster from your extra deck. So you would special summon Cyber Twin Dragon, for example. Machine Fusion monster specifically. And then Cyber Twin Dragon can swing for 2.8k each twice. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good card overall. That is about it. We're never going to see Nova be played in the way that it is going to be played in this set. So later on, we'll only ever be seeing it as a step ladder for Infinity, and that will most likely not be very fun for anyone involved, because Infinity sucks to play against. But we'll see how this goes. Anyhow, good luck with the games.
And then we are back, ladies and fellas, mixing those up this time. And so, yeah, we are piloting the Blue Eyes structure deck, and they should be pretty brief. I already talked in detail in the deck breakdown about a lot of the stuff that is new, and then the other stuff is pretty obvious. So this hopefully won't be even 10 minutes. So let's go through the deck. And starting us off, we have 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. I just picked 3 random artworks. This is probably my favorite out of the Blue Eyes artworks, either this one or the original. But 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. We don't really want to be early on drawing into this, but the problem is with Jeexx having access to Dimensional Prison, we really need these Blue Eyes White Dragons in circulation, and the more we get with stuff like Dragon Shrine, trading like stuff like that into circulation, the better. So we do still want to max out on it, although we don't really want to see this guy drawn into our hand turn 1, unless we get something like traded. But obviously the lifeblood of the deck. A Shining Angel, there to help us cycle through our deck. It's also nice because we can, if we have something like Silver Cry with or Monster Reborn, or any way to get our Blue Eyes back from the grave, we can just, if Jeexx has stuff that we can run into, we can normal Shining Angels, we can go through the Shining Angels, or directly go into any of our light tuners, so White Stone Legend or Maiden with Eyes of Blue. And then we can use the recursion. I lost the word. I completely lost the word. Reincarnation spells. To get our Blue Eyes from the grave and immediately go into Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, which is pretty neat. And always like just thinning your deck is nice. Then we have 2 Flammable Guard, a third one in the side deck. I didn't want to go too crazy on like just how many tuners we have, but we still consistently want to have access to them because of stuff like Cards of Conscience. We're gonna we have more ways of getting back Blue Eyes than we have our tuners, although Silver's Cry also does work on Flammable Guard, which is nice. So we just want to have some sort of balance there. Then we are maxing out with Maiden with Eyes of Blue. When a card effect is activated that targets card, you can as a quick effect spell summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or deck, deck or graveyard. And then when this card is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do, change Maiden's battle position, and then do the same thing like summon Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, deck or graveyard. But you only do one of them and once per that turn. But the very good effects, like especially for the time, like Maiden with Eyes of Blue, actually really good. And then the final tuner that we're running, the White Stone of Legend, at 3 copies. If this card is sent to a graveyard, you can add a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand. This is neat because it's like no matter which way it's sent from our hand as a cost or for an effect, or it's sent from the field to be used as synchro material, it always just gets us another Blue Eyes in hand, which is neat. And then, to honest, mostly here, because obviously we have a third one in the side. If we need a battle posting, it's mostly against stuff like Power Bond, because other than that, like everything we have should be bigger than the average stuff that Jeexx has. But honest, it's still nice to have, because ultimately, like I feel like the best win con that Jeexx has access to is Power Bonded Twin Dragon. And then for these, that is all of our monsters. We do have some other stuff in the side. We'll cover that in a little bit. But let's go back to the main deck and cover our spell traps. We have a lot of spells. So first up, 3 Dragon Shrine. This is just a Foolish Burial, where if you first send a Dragon normal monster, you can send again. And obviously stuff like Flammable Guard, Blue Eyes White Dragon. We always run Blue Eyes in the grave, so this should always just get us 2 pitches. So it's just better Foolish Burial, which should tell you everything you need to know. Seal Scribe is a quick play version of Monster Reborn, only for Dragon normal monster, so we can use it on stuff like Blue Eyes White Dragon and even Flammable Guard if we want to. But most of the time, what we want to be getting back in the first place is Blue Eyes White Dragon, so it works out there. And to get that said Blue Eyes in the grave, we have Trading, just simply pitch a Blue Eyes, get 2 cards. Very nice. Cost of Consonants, discard Dragon Tuner with 1000 less attack to draw 2. We can pitch stuff like Flammable Guard. Mostly we obviously want to be pitching White Stone, so we also get Blue Eyes. Very good. 1 for 1. Send a monster from your hand to the array and spell summon a level 1 monster from your hand or deck. So basically we can either pitch White Stone of Legend, we can pitch Blue Eyes to get any of our tuners directly onto the field, which is very good. Monster Reborn, I don't need to explain Monster Reborn. 2 Stamping Destruction, 1 more in the side. It's the only real way we have to get rid of spells and spell traps, and Dimensional Prison is the card that loses us the game immediately. So we sometimes just need to be blindly blasting spell traps and hoping it hits. 3 Compulsory Evacuation Device, obviously very good. We can use this to protect our own stuff, but more likely than that, like if Jeexx goes Power Bond into limiter removal into a twin Sidra, we need to get rid of it, so Compulse obviously very good for that. And then Phoenix Chain also there, like we can target an effect monster field to negate it, and it can't stack, so we can use this to stop Twin Dragon from wrecking us. But we can also, funny enough, we can also use this, because the Maiden effect is quick effect, we can use this to target an old Maiden and get a Blue Eyes with Phoenix Chain, which is pretty funny. As for the side deck though, not anything crazy. We have 2 Hero Dragon of Definite. Basically just a side drop if we want more bodies on the field, but it doesn't really do anything after, because we can't use it for extra plays. So, you know, if we tribute it, we do get another monster. So if we do tribute someone a Blue Eyes using this and something else, we also then get to do this to summon out a Flammable Guard to go into extra death plays, but that all needs us to go into, like, that all needs us to tribute summon a Blue Eyes, which is not what we want to be doing in most scenarios. Alexander Dragon had 2 copies as well. This is just here if we need a generically good beat stick. It's in the side deck though, because the thing about, because Sidra is 2100, so the value of Alexander Dragon immediately drops a lot. We have the 3rd copy of Flammable Guard, we have the 3rd copy of Honest, we have a single Rider of the Stormwinds, which is also a Dragon Tuner, level 1. We can target a Dragon normal monster to equip this card from your hand or field to the target, and if a monster equipped with this card attacks a defense position monster, you inflict piercing, and it protects the monster from being destroyed by instead destroying itself when it's equipped. It's neat. We already have a lot of tuners though, and I like White Son of Legend and Flammable Guard are just better. So if I really, for whatever reason, end up wanting, okay, I actually want to play 10 tuners, then we can assign into the Rider. Unlike the scenario though. 3rd Stamp Destruction, as we already established. A single Source of Revealing Light if we really feel like I need to just slow down the game a little bit. Econ there if I need more battle protection mostly, or if we are desperate and want to go for the tribute plan. A Kunawi Chain there also to stop attacks and also give us a slight power boost. And then 3 Call of the Haunted to finish off our side deck if we want more recursion from Grave on top of Silver Scries and Monster Reborns. And then finally for the extra deck we have the the boss monster and the card that we always want to be summoning, because it gives us protection from Dimensional Prison, as well as gets us more Blue Eyes. So we go into this, it gives us protection to all of our dragon monsters for targeting and being destroyed by card effects. And then during our standby phase, which more often than not we should get to, because it's like really beef and only dies to like Power Bond that twin. And then when we go to our standby, we get the normal monster back, which will basically always be a Blue Eyes, because either we get a good beat stick, or then we get that, we go into normal summon any of our like mini tuners, which is also why I'm running these a lot. And then we can make another Azure Eyes, we get more protection for the turn. It's just very good. But the thing is, like, we always need to get to this card, because otherwise if Jeexx has anything set, I have to be terrified. But yeah, that is the deck that we are playing. Like I said, I feel like the odds are stacked against us a little bit, because like both of us obviously are on beatdown strategies, but Jeexx having like stronger stuff when we get to our bosses, although like I guess it's a little more convoluted to get to that stuff for him, and also having stuff like Dimensional Prison, which obviously, since we want to be getting stuff back from Grave, is really gonna hurt us. And to top it all off, like us having Stampede Destruction, where he just has generically good MST, it's not great, but we'll see what we can do. And regardless, like, two very cool archetypes, two fan favorite archetypes going up against each other should be really cool. And both of these, like, I at least definitely like whenever they get support, I'll try to go ahead and play in the future as well. Because, like I said, I love these archetypes. They're like definitely like up there in my favorites, like after stuff like Galaxy Eyes. But yeah, thank you for watching the deck breakdowns. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you in the dueling zone next. What is up, ladies and fellas, and welcome back to the Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. I think, actually, fellas. I don't think I'm supposed to say fellas here. I think fellas. Fellas is reserved usually for my set breakdown. Now it got left on, and we're just gonna roll about it. There are no lads here, only fellas. So, Jeexx, a structure deck episode. I feel like, wait, what was our last one? I feel like it hasn't been that long. Am I crazy?
I can't. I think it was
I'm
the
cheating.
Gates of the Underworld, but I'm not sure.
Was it that? There were no way.
No
really?
way it was that long. It's been a while, though.
Also, that's the Fire Kings and then the Dogshit Water deck. Yeah, literally.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2,
Really?
3, 6. Okay, 6 episodes ago. Okay, I was.
Yeah, that
like,
was the first episode when I came back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Because I was like, I swear we had one not that long ago.
I mean, it's been a month, you know?
A month is not a long time, and I almost had 2 days meta in 2 days time. But the coin flip gods have smiled upon me. But this is actually interesting, because, like, I think your deck actually likes going Saga. I feel like you're, oh my god. I feel like your deck is fine with either.
I don't particularly mind either way.
Honestly, that's cool. Well, yeah. I guess we will start off by pitching using a Curse of Consonance. And for that, I will pitch a White Stone of Legend.
Yes.
So I will Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2.
First, and then White Stone Legend activates after that. I'm fairly certain.
If discard, draw. Actually, that's
the same with heroes. When you pitch Shadow Mist for Ferris, Shadow Mist doesn't chain block Ferris.
How did you add first? Wait, I swear you add first. Am I crazy?
No, I'm fairly certain you draw 2, then you add. Because White Stone Legend starts its own.
I mean, oh yeah, it's never mind. Because it's not a I was okay, yeah. So let's draw to BlueEyes here. Then I will get to my hand a BlueEyes White Dragon.
Yeah.
Then we will activate a trade-in to throw the BlueEyes that we just added to draw 2 additional cards.
Yeah.
And then. That's actually wait. That's actually so funny. Wait. I can't do this, right? I do this. I do that. I guess it doesn't matter, but I can still do it. We will activate a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
I will throw a White Stone of Legend. I will summon out a...
This deck out angle is kind of strong.
Your deck out angle is looking kind of juicy, I'm not gonna lie. We will special out a Flammable Guard. And then I might as well have added it there, but yeah, I will get the White Stone. BlueEyes.
Am I stupid?
Then we will...
Either this guy has 3 copies of Maiden with the Eyes of Blue
Fire
in his hand, or...
Don't worry about it. And we will get out a BlueEyes. Then we will synchro summon using these two. And we will get a Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. And then I think I'll end that with a normal summon of a Maiden as well as a back row set. And that's my turn. I don't think that could have gone any better. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't done any testing with this deck, as you know me, but
yeah, fair.
So yeah, neither player can target dragon monsters. I control with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by card effects. But battles are fair game.
Would like to special summon.
Yep.
In defense position, Solar Windjammer.
Mm-hmm.
As I control no monsters, I can special summon this card from my hand.
So that's
then I would like to normal summon Cyber Valley.
Yep.
And I would like to banish both the Cyber Valley and the Solar Windjammer to draw 2 cards.
Seems pretty good.
And then I would like to activate from my hand a Mystical Space Typhoon.
Thinking.
If it's another Silver Scry, you should activate.
Yeah. I guess. If I do that, then I'm. I mean, it's this getting. This works. Yeah, it works that way. Okay, then I will flip up Fiendish Chain. In response, I will target my own Maiden, since Maiden is not a dragon, so it's still fair game. And then obviously Maiden effect, so we'll get a Blue Eyes, and I would like to get it from my deck. So we will. Does this have limitations? You can just special summon. Okay, I will just get a Blue Eyes in attack, and then. No, I'm fine. So anything else, or Fiendish Chain gets popped?
Fiendish Chain gets popped.
Yeah.
And if there was anything else, I would have activated on the main with Eyes of Blue, and you wouldn't be able to respond with it.
Yeah, because that's why.
And I can't activate more to the chain anyhow.
Yep.
Pass.
All right. So. Draw and then standby phase, and we will grab a Blue Eyes out of our grave.
Yeah.
And now targeting my stuff is obviously fair game. 2 back row is not fun. But I mean, I guess we might as well start with a synchro summon of Maiden alongside one of the Blue Eyes. To grab a Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. So once again, we have some protection. And yeah, it would have just been an uptick. I literally, if I could pick how I draw my cards, I would not have picked a better sequence. Like if I literally pick what I draw. I had another Silver Scry in my hand. That is unreal. But yeah, I don't think there's anything to do here. That is never going to happen ever again in the history of this series. Oh, it's me going first. Okay. If for whatever reason it didn't give me the highlight, or then I just missed it. I was like, damn, you're really deep in thought, huh? I guess we will start with an activation of Dragon Shrine. And we will send... Thinking.
You should send Blue Eyes to send an egg to add an egg to add Blue Eyes.
Yeah, it's literally just Blue Eyes is one of them. I'm thinking I guess I can do it first because this is happening regardless. Because it was literally like, do I want to send a? With that, I'll have a tuner there. I'll have a target still. I guess I don't have a way to pitch. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll send Blue Eyes, and Blue Eyes is normal. We'll send an egg, and we'll add a BlueEyes to hand. And then we will normal summon out a White Stone of Legend. We will activate Silver Scry. We will get BlueEyes. I'll just skip the steps to make things easier. I'll do this. I'll get out another Azure Eyes, and Egg will add the BlueEyes from my deck to my hand, and that'll be all she wrote.
I doodle.
Mm-hmm.
I normal summon Cyber Dragon Core.
Yep.
I would like to add to my hand a Cyber card.
Yep. I have nothing on this. The Ash Blossom BlueEyes set comes out in 2016 or 2017, I think. Legendary Collection Kaiba. I think that's where I got my Ash copies. Or one or two.
Do anything from it.
Cyber Repair Plant. Yep.
And then I set 4. And I pass.
Normal core set 4 sounds like Cyber Dragons. Alright. Oh yeah, standby phase. I will get out a BlueEyes White Dragon. And then we'll go to main one. And
I love drawing like 60% of all my trap cards in one turn.
And I love drawing like always the best stuff in my deck. Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Oh, that's just it. Because you're not dead here yet. So
No, it doesn't matter. It's gonna take too long to get anything going, and I can't swing over shit.
well, that was definitely the fastest we have ever had this. I don't think either of us expected this to happen. What would I have drawn next? It would have been so funny if it was a Silver Scry. Stamp of Destruction, Falama Guard, Dragon Shrine. Hey, what a cool Cyber Dragon deck you got there. Is he just gone? No, he's still here. I don't even know what to say about that. You didn't want to mill your deck to show us what you have there? Okay.
It's irrelevant.
That's fair.
It's a Cyber Dragon deck. I have Cyber Dragon cards, which I did not draw. I drew 2 of my Solar Windjammers in the first game, and I did not draw a single relevant Cyber Dragon card. I could have used the Cyber Valley to stall out one turn, but I figured, well, I have a Power Bond in my hand, and I only have really one shot at this. I'm gonna try to find 2 more Cyber Dragons, so I can use my Power Bond, and then, surprisingly enough, I did not draw 2 Cyber Dragons, and I did not get anything going.
That's
and then
fair.
I had 3 of my dimensional prisons in 3 of my dimensional prisons in both games. Well, not both games. I had 2 in the first game and 2 in the second game.
Which would normally be very good.
Yes, but see, again, the change in the text in dimensional prison, making it a card that specifically says target, is a problem.
Yeah. If it was released in the 2020s, then it wouldn't say target, but
yeah. I'm quite certain there's probably a card in this game right now that does say banish.
I would assume there's
creature.
at least 3 different ones.
Yeah.
So,
But outside of that, there was nothing of note.
That's fair enough, I guess. I mean, this is literally, like, the matchup literally is, like, I get out Silver Dragon and I can do stuff. I don't get out Silver Dragon and I cannot do stuff, because if my blue eyes get banished, obviously I'm no longer playing the game. So I guess it was always going to be like, either I beat you to death in 2 seconds, or my stuff gets banished, and then Twin Dragon or Nova just runs over me. But
the thing is, I can just run over all your stuff if I just draw into 2 Cyber Dragons.
hey,
if I have a Power Bond in hand.
There was a world where you don't forfeit and you draw into that.
No, but I didn't have 2 Cyber Dragons in hand. I didn't have a power bond in hand.
Doesn't Repair Plant get you?
Repair Plant gets me one light monster from my deck. Yes, when I have Cyber Dragon Core in the graveyard as a Cyber Dragon. But I still don't have Power Bond. And I still don't have 2 of them on the field. Or 2 of them in total. I only had Cyber Dragon Core, so I couldn't have done anything with that.
So what were your 4 sets?
My 4 sets were Call the Hunted, 2 Dimensional Prisons, and Trap Stun. I am telling you,
Okay.
there was no reality where I get a Twin Dragon out in that situation.
Yeah. Fair. This, bro, there has to be some plot armor with BlueEyes. This was insane. But yeah, I don't know what to say, but I'll disclose that I haven't recorded my deck breakdown yet. So I'll probably, when I do that, I need to remember this, and I need to make it short, because I don't want the deck breakdowns to end and then there's like, what's the recording? It's 15 minutes. Then there's 15 minutes left, and they're like, huh. That's interesting. Which, to be fair, there's a way where it's like, okay, either my stuff gets, I get 2 of my things immediately deprisoned, or the adverse, which is this, happens. But, thank you, BlueEyes White Dragon. Thank you, Kai, and thank you, Azure Silver Dragon, for being the goats, I guess. Anyways, this is gonna be a really short one. Is there something you still wanna say, Jeexx, before we get out of here?
I was outskilled. I was outmatched.
That is true.
I was truly out of my depth in this. You know, there was no chance in hell that I could ever have won this, guys.
And your deck was worse and L plus ratio.
L plus ratio.
Don't you love Yu-Gi-Oh! Jeexx? But yeah, I think we're just gonna cut it there. I think there is definitely like comment in this as well, and if there's like some saving grades, I think like a lot of these cards, obviously, like we had some new stuff here that we like. I think we're new to this, like stuff like Azure Silver Dragon. I think was made in this set.
Yes,
I think
they're both new cards for this structure deck.
And then like
Silver Scry is also.
Sorry, what?
Silver Scry is also.
Oh yeah. And then Core was new. Nova was definitely new. Repair Plant was a thing, I think.
Nope. Repair Plant is new as well.
Oh, okay. So there were a couple new cards for the archetypes, but I'll just disclose that I'm almost leaning out of the camera frame. That both of these are like some of my favorite archetypes. I think they're just cool. So they will get more support. We'll see them again. And at the very latest, BlueEyes, when it comes to Konami wanting to get it, finally put an end to the Pendulum era, and just printing out a BlueEyes extra deck card that says "fuck you" to pendulums. That's pretty funny and pretty base, honestly. So I'll definitely be visiting when that happens, and then Sidra also gets more stuff.
Quite a lot, and you can also say the same for Cyber Dragons, where Konami said "fuck you" and "fuck activating effects" when they printed Cyber Dragon Infinity.
That's the one gripe I have with this, because it would have been cool to see Nova do something where it's not literally just, okay, make Nova and it's an Infinity. What did Nova do? Nobody knows. Because I feel like
nobody knows.
Is there a wave of Sidra support before Infinities? Because I think Infinity is not like that new of a card, right? When did it come out?
Infinity is in like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, because I would have said...
We only get one more card before this, I think. Actually, no, that's in the same set.
Oh, so literally next wave of Sidra support is Infinity? Breakers of Shadow. In that 2016. Like 2016. Yeah, literally the start of 2016.
And then that is the entirety of the Pendulum era for any rank 4 deck. That card is what you end on. Now you might be wondering, how do you end on a rank 6 with a rank 4 deck? And the answer is Konami made a mistake. Konami made a massive fucking mistake, and they printed a generic rank 4 that says for 3 material, make Infinity. Kill me
I'm
now.
also very familiar with Infinity because in Galaxy Eyes, like obviously Galaxy Soldier is a level 5, so 2 Galaxy Soldiers can make Infinity, which is a pretty neat turn 1 play. I don't remember if I played like in the like literally my last version of the deck, but it's still like if you can do something like Hope Harbinger, Infinity, and the Link 2 for your first turn, like usually you don't obviously want to go first, but I'd say decent board to end on.
But Ptolemaeus isn't in the same set. It's in Cross Souls. My bad.
Okay. Imagine if that Ptolemaeus was in literally the set. That would have been fucked up.
That would have been fucked
I guess
up.
we definitely would have seen Infinity then. But
yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, we're gonna see Magispecs and the full power Pepe when we see Infinity. So that's also gonna be fun.
I can't wait. In a way, I'm excited for. I think I've said it before. The Pendulum era is by far the era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where I know the least. I have never in my life touched a Pendulum deck to any degree. I don't know anything about it, and I think I'm not sure actually if we talked about this, but I think for the Pendulum era we're gonna have to make changes where otherwise, like we've obviously used the cards in their current form. We've played under Master Rule. Is it 5? The rules that we use, but obviously for pendulums, since links are not yet a thing, it would not really make sense. So we're probably gonna play pendulums the way they were played when they first came out to show the full degeneracy of it all. And
I think the biggest issue is gonna be just the fact that we're gonna have to sack 2 spell trap slots for those.
Yeah,
which is not something that happened or existed during MO3.
Yeah, that's true, because obviously then you had your 5 and then you had your. But I guess it's a nice middle ground to have, I guess. I'm not sure. Wait, does dueling? I heard a little while. Does Dueling Book have a way to sell play like with the old board? I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually a thing, but
traditional.
We'll have to.
I mean, you have Goat format and Edison, but I don't think you can have anything other than that.
I might misremember. We'll figure it out. It doesn't matter here and now yet. But with all that being said, though, thank you for joining us to this absolute ass beating of a match. As we've established, I think multiple times in like the last 10 episodes, like we've had now quite a few of these. Like we'll sometimes just have this, especially when we get closer and closer to Mono and Yu-Gi-Oh! But at some point we will throw hand traps in the loop to some degree, because obviously playing modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Without even semi-modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Without any hand traps like these games would. This episode are gonna become hey, here are decks that we're gonna talk about for 10 minutes, and here's 5 minutes of gameplay, and thanks for watching. So I don't think that would be too interesting, and we'll still trying to, even when we're limiting ourselves with the sets and stuff like that, we're still trying to keep it like somewhat okay, like what was kind of like for the time frame. But obviously you have different series and people doing different stuff if you want to specifically go for those. So we're just trying to fill a different niche and also make my deck building easier, because Lord knows that shit is hard. Decision fatigue, baby.
It's so easy. What do you mean? You just build the deck and then it does the thing, yeah.
That is true. Or forfeit your human rights and play Noble Knights like an asshole. But these are the choices that we have to make ourselves. But yeah,
I did one test hand, and in this test hand, I literally draw 2 Cyber Repair Plan, a Dre, and a fucking Solar Windjammer, so I can actually hate.
Okay, since we're gonna end on this, I gloated over Nova because I actually think like Nova visually it looks cool. I think like orange on black it works really well. It looks cool. I think Infinity and Nova both look cool, but Jeexx is obviously gonna talk about Nova. So hey, listen to the deck breakdown, she's gonna talk about Nova, and you'll hear why it's cool. But since I literally in the first game, I literally got my God Hand and God Starter. Give us your optimal turn, Jeexx. If you got the like Dream 5 or Dream 6, you can go second. It doesn't matter. And
optimal turn 2.
Yeah, you can do optimal turn 2, and then that'll be the audience can imagine. Okay, this could have been a Jeexx turret, and then we'll get out of here afterwards.
I get Power Bond. You guys know what Power Bond is, right? It's the card that lets me fusion summon a machine type fusion monster with materials, and that doubles its attack, and then I pay the life point cost. Yeah, I get one of those.
We can also recreate it if you want, but this
no.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And it's it's 2 Cyber Dragons. Yeah. 2 Sidra, and then 2 more Cyber Dragons and another Power Bond, and I make 2 Cyber Twin Dragons, and I win.
Okay, that's really cool.
Isn't that cool, guys? And you can also substitute multiple the Cyber Dragons with at least 1 Cyber Repair Plan and a Cyber Dragon Dry, and you can also maybe if you're really wild, we can maybe make a Cyber Dragon Nova instead of Cyber Twin Dragon. But the end result is that Cyber Twin Dragon with Power Bond is just so much better than Cyber Dragon Nova, because you just win with that, whereas Cyber Dragon Nova doesn't win on its own immediately.
But it looks cooler.
Does it though?
I think so. But I also think that what you just described is potentially the most boring optimal turn ever, and I'm kind of happy that this ended being the ass baiting that was. Smile.
Guys, I'm gonna tell you a fun fact. I fucking hate Cyber Dragon, and I fucking hate BlueEyes. Like, both decks are ass. I hate these decks so much.
Basically,
I like everything cool.
I was just gonna say, welcome to Get to Know Jeexx, episode 1. Fun facts about Jeexx: he hates everything that 99% of world's population would consider cool.
See, I like actual cool things. I don't like cringe things. I like Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, because that's cool. I don't like
Don't
Cyber
try
Dragon.
to ponder to me to get out of this.
You have a 3000 beat stick that has the ability to just vanish and blink itself. That's cool. That's a gimmick. Oh, you have a beat stick that attacks twice and has 5,600 attack points and it doesn't die at the end of the turn. Oh, that's so cool. How very fucking creative of you. Oh, you have a card that negates all my cards. Ah, that's so fucking cool of you. How very creative of you. Oh, you have a Blue-Eyes White Dragon, 3,200, 2,500 defense beat stick that does nothing, and then you have a card that summons more of those. Oh, that is so fucking fascinating. How about you just leave? But then you have Galaxy Eyes, and Galaxy Eyes on its own is a boss monster that does things. And then you have all the variations of it, which are cool.
Anyways, this guy plays Infernobles, Noble Knights, Heroes. We can all see a pattern here, so I'll just end this all on a nice audio clip from ISO Speed, and we'll get out of here. So thanks for watching.
Girls? I want to see men!
Thanks for watching, y'all, and we'll see you next week. Peace.